Alright guys, we are here with the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 character rehab. I'm your host, Dante Lambert, and we got Vergil to deal with today. Vergil is one of my main characters, so I'll be getting in a little more depth than usual. His basics will be normal, special movements, assist, and supers, and I'll be getting to some advanced tactics at the end of the segment. Hopefully that can help you guys in tournaments. Basically, Vergil's standing jab is really good as a... You want to use this at a distance, but if you want to use it up close, that's fine because it's a 5-frame button anyway. Same thing goes for the low version of it itself, of the light command. Vergil's standing B serves as a great anti-air. It's known to out-prioritize other buttons that have high priority also. But it comes out really fast and it doesn't have a lot of active frames, so you kind of want to use it precisely. This will come easy as you continue to use Vergil, so don't really worry about it too much. Vergil standing C, on the other hand, also has that little funny hitbox where it doesn't have too many active frames. I know it looks like it does because there's this big sword swipe, but it tends to whiff at the end if you don't time it correctly. So just make sure you get it real meaty into the other person's hurt box, and you can cancel it to make it safe. So you'll be good if you do that. Vergil's crouching buttons, his crouching heavy trips you, his crouching light and crouching B have great range. The crouching heavy on block is not safe, so I wouldn't suggest doing it. But Vergil's standing S can chain from either his forward heavy, standing heavy, or any one of his buttons, but it's really unsafe on block, but it is Vergil's greatest anti-air. You want to make sure that when you do this move, you do it from a distance, and you make sure that your opponent has committed to doing a move themselves in the air before doing this move, because it's extremely unsafe. But for that, it has a ton of range, meaning it'll always chain no matter how far you've hit his standing C from. As for his air normals, I would say jump medium, medium attack is his greatest air button. Why? Because it's like the greatest air-to-air he has. It's known to out-prioritize even the greatest buttons. I mean, look at the distance on it. Jump heavy is not so great because it doesn't have the hitbox that it looks like it has. As you can see here, it whiffed over Captain America's head, and you know, during a match, you don't want that happening. You want to be precise. And with jump medium, if the person's there in range and you press it, it's not going to whiff. It's going to hit them. He also has this move here, Helmet Breaker. Helmet Breaker, as soon as you touch the floor, can be canceled into any one of Vergil's teleports by pressing A, B, or C. A, teleporting forward, in front of the opponent, B, behind, and C, above the opponent. Helmet Breaker is not an overhead though, so don't use it as such, but is safe on block. So feel free to go ahead and just keep doing it. A very abusable tactic. It's just as safe as Dante's version, so go ahead and do it. As for Vergil's special, the Judgment Orb has a ton of durability. It even clashes with reused fireballs and gets rid of it and stays on screen and continues to hit the opponent. You meet the light version in front of Vergil, medium, mid-screen, and heavy, damn near full screen. You want to use Judgment Orbs, basically, to kind of make limbs safe or zone your opponent. That's about as much as, you know, as much use as they have, as I would say. He also has Round Trip. This reminds me of Trish's round trip move. The only difference is he doesn't have control over it. This is done by holding down any one of the attack buttons for about, I would say 2 seconds, or it's probably due to how many frames you have to hold it down for. Vergil will release his sword, and you know, you could use that for mix-ups. The move that you're looking at right now is Rising Sun. Rising Sun is mainly used in combos and as an anti-air. It's not the best anti-air, and it's unsafe on whiff, but if it does make contact with the opponent, you can cancel into a teleport by pressing H, and that's really cool. Why is that cool? Because you can use it with assist, and you can make it safe. You could use it for all sorts of various mix-ups. You find what assists work best with that, and you mix and match it. Now this move here, I actually don't know what it's called. It's like lunar something, but It scales like crazy in combos, but it's really good for pressure. I don't know how safe it is on block, but it does, for some reason, have a chance of crossing up your opponent. And it also does cause a ground bounce, in which you can do a follow-up for. Now, this move right here, Rapid Slash from Vergil, is extremely cheap. It's done by doing forward, down, down, forward, and Vergil could basically cancel into super off of this move, and he can get full bread and butters from it, and that's like, wow. Think of Berserker Slash, people. Vergil has various teleports, the same ones that he can do from Helmet Breaker, but these are the commands. They're quarter circle back, and if you press light, it's in front, medium, back, and H will track the opponent no matter where they are on screen, unlike the other versions. As for Vergil's assist, in my opinion, his best assist is Rapid Slash. Why? If the opponent blocks it, they are sent full screen. Even if they actually get hit by it, they're sent full screen regardless. And it also causes a lot of block stun, and it crosses the opponent just as it would cross up the opponent if you were playing with Vergil, meaning that they have to block the point character or they're going to get crossed up. As for this assist right here that you're looking at, this is a Judgment Orb assist. It carries the same properties as it does when you're doing it with Vergil on point, and it'll dissipate fireballs when they make contact with them. This assist, Rising Sun, is his worst assist. Doesn't have much priority, and I see no way to combo off of it except for like Dante's Jump S. And that's about as far as that goes. It's just a move that you use to continue combos as far as I see. It doesn't really have a lot of priority. It can be hit out on startup. As for Vergil's movement, Vergil is like Wesker with a sword and a better teleport, in my opinion. Although Wesker's teleport doesn't track, so that could actually benefit him better. But I don't know. Vergil's got the range, and he has the ability to cancel. He sucks in the air just like Wesker, but he does have S, which goes into a dive kick. Now, one thing you could consider here is that since dive kick can only be canceled out by using his round trip, you gotta kind of want to have round trip charged. And if you commit to a dive kick, but it makes contact with the opponent, cancel out into round trip. See right there? Ooh, that looks good. Okay. And you want to get wave dashing down if you're gonna be a person that plays with Vergil. You have to be able to wave dash, in my opinion. You also want to be able to do quick air dashes with him, and you have to be precise because it's like I said, that jump heavy just doesn't have the hitbox that I thought it did. All right, guys. So for Vergil's first super, I'll be discussing the Dimensional Slash, which doesn't have too much priority, so don't go throwing it out there. And if you do and you get hit, don't be surprised because it's not the type of super. It doesn't have invincibility. Think Vergil with a sword and Phantom Dance. I said Vergil with a sword. I meant Wesker with a sword. But yeah, just think of Phantom Dance when you see that. If you wanted to use it to whiff punish or end combos, that's fine. It's mostly his most used combo ender regardless. So feel free to use it as such, besides his level 3, which I'll be discussing later on. As you can see, his Devil Trigger here grants him access to a air dash, a double jump, and now he gains the ability to whiff normals into special moves, which he can't do when he's regular Vergil. His moves also get a lot faster, take a hell of a lot more damage, and his limbs become stronger in terms of taking more damage. And that's about it. I can't stretch out the Devil Trigger any more than that. So his next super I'll probably be discussing is the Spiral Swords. Oh yeah, let me not forget about those Judgment Orbs. You see how big they get? Jeez. They also contain a lot more durability when in Devil Trigger, so you guys want to kind of pay attention to that. That's actually a big thing, to be able to whiff a normal into specials. Other characters possess that ability. Vergil does not unless he wastes a meter for it, but it's a meter well spent. These Spiral Swords here are like, think Oyorobos. It's really cheap. Basically, once Vergil has the swords activated, they act as if a shield. Regular projectiles won't harm him. You could just stand there. He gets free access to get-ins. Basically, the person must block when the sword's out. He gets a free teleport. He can also change the formations of the swords by pressing any combinations of S, L, M, or H together. Or he can do backwards, quarter circle back, S, and summon the swords around your head, which they will attack you in sequence. You can also send the swords out, as you saw. I was just doing 10 seconds ago, in any direction. The light ones will fire forward, light and S will fire forward, light and medium will fire upward, and light and heavy will fire downward. Now, these were the spiral swords that I was talking about that's going to attack you at any given time. This does take up a meter, but it's a meter well spent if you're good at meter management and building meters. So keep that in mind. It's not free. As for Vergil's third, last but not least, I would say, his level 3, the Dark Angel. This level 3 OTGs, he can combo off of it. I'll be showing you how it OTGs now, and it does a whole 610k damage. So, boom, you see where you gets hit here? That's not anything special to me. I just want to show you that it OTGs, and that he can combo off of it, which is insane. I don't know why you would give someone 600k of damage and then they still be able to combo off of it. Oh, so here comes the OTG. Does that look like it should OTG anybody? Jeez, whatever. So there goes that. So let's get into some of Vergil's combos. Okay, so here comes some general bread and butters that you guys can all pick up to give you a general idea of what Vergil can do. Remember, the bread and butters that I put up here now, they're not the best, they're not the most advanced. What they do, they just give you guidelines to follow. You can go make up your own thing, or you can go figure out whatever's the best or what works for your team at the end of the day. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show while I wait so I can move on to the movement section for you guys. Alright guys, so some synergy and assist that would better suit Vergil would be Wesker's Samurai Edge. Why? Because he can randomly teleport above your head while calling out Wesker, and it's not such the fact that he has a good overhead, it's just that people tend to block up when they see you up, when they see your point character up there. Weasel Shot is like wow with Vergil. You can do various teleports while calling out Weasel Shot. Centurion Rush, also very cheap because it's an overhead while Vergil goes low. Plasma Beam is standard, and Strider, come on. He's in all my tutorials. Alright, so let's move on to some advanced positioning and tactics with Vergil. Yay, my favorite part. Okay. So, as you can see here, it speaks for itself. Decide which limb and how much block stun you want to put your opponent in, and what distance you want them at for what kind of mix-up you want to decide. Some, as you guys wouldn't know, because you're not the one who's Ryu right now, sometimes that's not a cross-up. Sometimes it's a fake cross-up. Why does that happen? That happens because of the timing when I decide to teleport. So delayed teleports, people, that's something you want to use. You also want to use Helmet Breaker properly in terms of back Helmet Breaker up with an assist, but also teleport when you come down from it. I would go with the H teleport or the behind teleport. When your opponent starts to get kind of used to you teleporting behind them, then you already know. Teleport in front. Mix it up a bit. Alright, now one thing you guys definitely want to get used to, and I tried to stress out earlier in the video during the supers part, please learn how to be aware of Vergil's fact that he can whiff buttons into specials during Devil Trigger. That's important because now you can create a game where you can whiff attacks, not let them hit, and cause the opponent to kind of budge and run into judgment orbs or various other assists that you call out. You also want to delay Vergil strings. Vergil is really good at delaying strings. He has a frame trap, crouching B, and if the opponent tries to move, you can go straight into stand C, and you can hit confirm off of that either into a launcher or forward C, or spiral swords. And when you use spiral swords, this is why I said you have to learn how to wave dash with Vergil, because if the opponent, I would say, tries to push block, it's like almost impossible. Vergil can push somebody from mid screen to the corner with one summoning of spiral swords. You also want to learn how to use down forward H as an anti-air, and whether the opponent blocks it or not, you can still cancel into the teleport, which is really cool. So let me do a little recap for you on Vergil. His rapid slash it's a good assist. It's not the greatest. Medium attack is one of the best anti-airs in the game. He's great on whiff punishes. I wouldn't say he becomes a huge threat in Devil Trigger, but he's definitely better in Devil Trigger, and he has like one of the highest mix-up potentials due to that teleport. The only thing is, he's a meter abuser. He relies heavily on assist, and his move is not so great unless he's in Devil Trigger, and he's kind of got unsafe normals unless you have supers. But that goes back to meter management. So what I want you guys to do out there, for me, all you Vergil players, is learn to manage your meter, learn strings that build you meter, right? And back them up with a good assist, but also make sure that you can use that assist character at the same time. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope I can bring you more Vergil in the future.